Okay, so for those of you who are really sick of the algorithm, this is for you. I had a fantastic call the other day with my friend Jenn DePaula, who I've mentioned to you before. I think in the very beginning of this course, I mentioned she runs the author circle. She's been in the author marketing and music publicity space for 2 decades, and she is fabulous. We were talking a bit about the algorithm and all the changes that have been made in the last couple of years and how people are always bemoaning, myself included, the algorithm for being responsible for a drop in engagement, an inability to get new followers, an inability to get the word out to all the people that we want to get the word out to. And Jenn had this incredible comment, 4 words that she uttered that stopped me dead in my tracks because I had heard something similar or something that related to that about a week prior and had been trying something new. And so the timing was impeccable and I wanted to get her thinking on it. So what she said was, "You are the algorithm." And I'm like, I just fell back in my seat. And I'm going to link the podcast episode that she and I did because we chatted about what went well in 2024, what's coming in 2025, all that kind of stuff tactically for author marketing, but also just what are the basic things that we can be doing that are independent of this dreaded algorithm. And it's not a dreaded algorithm. You are the algorithm. So essentially, you think of the algorithm like a matchmaking service. When you put in your criteria for who you want to meet on a, not that I've done this, but on a matchmaking service, ostensibly, the matchmaking service gives you back, shows you people who would meet those criteria. And it shows your profile to people who also meet like where you match. It's the whole point. The algorithm is exactly the same. So if we're talking about Instagram, I knew I had a little bit of a problem. And here's how you can know. I knew I was following all the air quote right people, or I thought I was. But here's the thing. For a long time, it was all about hashtags. So use as many hashtags as you can. We got up to 30 was the max that we could ever use. Use as many as you can because people are searching for different things based on hashtag. Then the recommendation was lower the number of hashtags that you're using because if you use too many, it looks like you're gaming the system. The algorithm will penalize you. And so just use like 3 or 4. It's not so much for people who are searching those hashtags. It's so that Instagram knows to whom to show your posts. So I still use, usually, sometimes I don't use any, but usually I use 3, maybe 4 hashtags per post. But now what's coming down the pike or is being talked about is the fact that it's more keywords that are telling the algorithm who to show your posts to. So making sure that your posts themselves, if you have text on your post, because the algorithm can read a JPEG, but also in your caption, making sure that it's keyword rich and that you're using not the most competitive terms for your industry or your niche, but ones that your ideal readers and customers, if that's also a thing for you, are looking for. Okay, cool. And yet there's another piece that we can implement over which we have some control. If you log into this is my Instagram account from my phone. And so, yes, you can sort of see if you feel curious who I'm following. Matthew Hussey, fantastic. Lots of great information. Jessica Yellen, News Not Noise. I'm all about news, not noise. This happens to be my sister. So, and this is Cece Lyra. If you follow the shit no one tells you about writing, this is Cece Lyra, who's a literary agent. If you click right here on this little magnifying glass, this is your discover, I don't even know what they call it, but it's like your discover feed. So it's where Instagram shows you what Instagram thinks you want to see. Because remember, the whole goal of these platforms is to keep you on the platform. for as long as humanly possible. That is the goal. And the way they do that is by showing you what you have shown an interest in. So when you click this, as the algorithm gets to know you, it will show you all of the things that it has learned that you are interested in. The other piece that's a little bit new to people, myself included, is that Instagram, it's like, think of it like a dating service, right? Like I said before, it's going to show your stuff to those same people. So let's look at where Liz has a bit of a problem. This is what's in my Discover feed, or was a couple days ago. And it makes perfect sense. I'm always looking for face yoga stuff to tighten things without having to get injected with anything. I love a cute baby. I love figuring out how to tie my hair up in a crazy knot that never works like that in real life. Lately, I've started to follow some stuff about ADHD. I love these different, like, what do you call them? Release techniques for fascia, or however you say it. I think these might be the new Golden Bachelorette. Yes, I watched it. Again, more babies. I don't know why he's there, but I'm not necessarily arguing with it. Keep scrolling down. We've got yoga release, more. I'm very into, like, again, how do I make my face not look 1,000 years old without injecting things into it? We've got more babies. I love a good recipe. Here we've got books. So we're trending in the right direction, but a week ago, I didn't have anything related to books, but we have this lovely bookcase that's all color coordinated. I think this is like makeup. I'm always trying to figure out, how do I apply eyeshadow to a hooded eyelid so it doesn't look like it's falling into my chin, like all the things, okay? The challenge is that Instagram is showing my posts to my followers, which is great. But when it comes to reaching new people, Instagram is assuming, oh, these are all the types of accounts I would like to be matched up with. Now, might some of these people be aspiring authors? Sure. But are they likely? No. So I need to change up what I'm looking at when I'm on Instagram, because it's all about understanding how the platforms work and playing into how they work for our benefit, whether it's our personal benefit, professional benefit, like whatever it is. So how do we do this? Well, there's a couple different ways we can fix the situation that many of us, myself included, have gotten ourselves into. Number one, check out who you're following. So you probably know how to do this, but if you don't, if you're on your main screen, right down here, you have your little profile picture. Click on it, and up top, you'll see the number of posts you've made, the number of people who are following you, and then who you're following. If you click on this one over here on the right, that's who you're following, you can see everybody you're following. And my new balance is the following. Right now, I'm following just a melange, right? It's a lot of industry people in the book industry. It's a lot of authors and writers, but it's also a lot of recipe sites, DIY sites, paint sites, all that kind of stuff. So I went in and kind of curated that. If there are accounts that I'm like, I don't even know who this is, I unfollow them. If it's stuff that I just don't interact with or engage with frequently, I unfollow it. And I know a lot of people might be thinking, well, I can't unfollow my friends and family. So I'm going to give you a solution to that. And by the way, you don't have to. But the ratio I'm going for, and it's not an exact science, I'm looking to follow at this point about 10% industry people. So people who are in the writing, publishing industry. And then 10% are going to be my friends and family members who have nothing to do with the author space. I'm going to keep following Gailey Alex for her DIY tips. I'm going to keep following a bunch of gluten-free recipe people. Like, that's just what's going to happen. But then it's 80% writers and authors and aspiring authors. That's because that's who I would like to see the majority of my posts. That's why I take time to create posts that will help move those folks forward in their journeys. So that's number one, is check who you're following. Number two, be aware of what you're liking and commenting on. So this is another area where the algorithm looks at what you're engaging with. So, you know, the comments that say comment paint and I'll send you my 5 top paint samples for dressers. That's me all day. Paint. comment chocolate and I'll send you this gluten-free chocolate donut recipe. You got me. The challenge is that, again, the algorithm thinks, oh, that's what I'm interested in. So I'm making a much more concerted effort to like and comment on, intentionally comment, authentically comment. I'm not just dropping a bunch of emojis and not really engaging. It's social media. It's meant to be social. So I'm intentionally and authentically engaging with other industry professionals, other authors, other writers, poets, aspiring authors, all that kind of stuff. And then for those who are wondering, well, what do I do about my family, my friends, all these other fun accounts that I really enjoy and I like commenting on because I want the paint samples, but I don't want the algorithm to get confused? I have set up a new basic Instagram account for me. I don't even have a profile picture. I'm not posting on it. I don't share it with anybody. It's the only purpose of that account is for me to follow all my DIY, my recipe, my face yoga, all that kind of stuff. And I'll just gradually move those accounts, unfollow them from Elizabeth Lyons Author, and start following them from this other account that has no purpose other than to just follow what I want to follow for fun. So you can start doing that. And then the final thing, which everyone loves so much, is to just be patient. I've been on Instagram since 2013, so almost 12 years. And it is constantly evolving to show me, this certainly isn't the kind of thing that I've always been following on Instagram, but in the last couple of years, it has. And so the algorithm is doing its job. It is sending me exactly what I've asked it to send me. And in turn, it is assuming that I want these people to know about me so that they can like me too. And so it's showing them all of my posts. The challenge is that a lot of these people are have no interest in, they might be readers, but they have no interest in writing a book. They have no interest in the publishing industry. So for you, you might be wondering, well, who should I follow? And again, I don't like the word should, but I told you I follow 10%, my new rule, 10, 10, and 80. So if you've written a romance novel, a great and easy way to do this is to go find your favorite author who your book is like. So if you write rom-com, it's probably not great to follow someone who writes, deep literary fiction. But find your favorite rom-com author who writes in a similar style and see who's following them, and then go follow those folks. You want to find people to follow who enjoy reading the type of book that you're writing. If you're writing nonfiction and your topic is nutrition, you probably want to follow some folks in the nutrition space who are experts, and then also make your 80% individuals who are interested in the type of nutrition about which you're writing. So if you're writing about the value of going vegan, don't follow a bunch of people who are following the latest barbecue trends, right? Find an expert in the field, in the space, who espouses the lifestyle that you speak to, and look at who is following that person. And then go look. It does take a minute. Go look at their account, see if it's someone who, you'd be interested in saying hi, and you don't have to say hi. The point is, it's not about going out and mass following all these people and then never engaging with them. It's not about going and following someone who never posts, who never engages, because that's not social. But it is a quicker way to find the air quote right people who will also be interested in your book and or your services if you offer that in tandem, and start to be patient as the algorithm does exactly what it was designed to do and starts putting you more in front of them more in front of you, and then all can be right with the world, and we can all stop blaming the algorithm and instead start thanking it. And to be clear, I have absolutely been guilty of blaming it and the whole thing. But the reality is, as I said at the beginning, you are the algorithm. You are your own algorithm. You are the algorithm. So tell the service exactly what you want it to show you and exactly who you want your stuff to be shown to, and then let the floodgates open. All right, on to the next video.